ribbon cutting the other day.
It was a lot of fun. Plus, I'm sorry, we ready, clerk?
When you're ready.
Okay, very good. Call the city council special meeting to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Stringham?
Yes.
Felder?
Yes.
Hayter? Stilgrave?
Yes, here.
Vining?
Vining excused.
Germaine?
Here.
Mayor Clark?
Here. Well, first, let's see if there's any public comment. Any public comment? Any of those present here this evening wish to make comment? I see none. Next item.
Consideration to enter closed executive session for the purpose of attorney-client privilege communication.
Is there anything further? We're just looking for a motion.
I'm just the motion, and that we'll be having it in the third floor conference room.
Thank you. Councilman Hayter?
I'd like to make a motion that we enter into closed session for the purpose of attorney-client privilege communication.
Motion by Councilman Hayter, supported by Councilwoman Germaine, to go into closed executive session for the purpose stated. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson
Did I get it
Stringham?
wrong?
Felder?
Yes.
Hayter?
Yes.
Stilgrave?
Yes.
Vining? Germaine, sorry about
Yes.
that. Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I'll wait for you. I was looking for it later. Don't wait for me. Okay, I need a motion to go back into open session.
Motion to return to regular session.
Motion by Councilman Hayter, supported by Councilman Stringham to go back into open session. Clerk?
Yes. Fowler?
Hater?
Yes.
Mayne?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Yes, and I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Stringham, supported by Councilwoman Germaine to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Very well. This meeting is closed. And we'll get started before, for the regular council meeting. Thank you. It's great to see everybody here.
Hayter. Stilgrave. Vining. Jermaine.
Here.
Here, I'd ask we all please rise for the invocation. Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
As we come together this evening, help us engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of community. Remind us all that we do here this evening and all that we accomplish is for the welfare of and in service to the citizens and visitors of Monroe.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, next item, please.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of the regular agenda.
Any amendments to the agenda? I know we'll get to the clerk as an item.
The administration has no other.
Clerk Treasurer Lavoy, regarding the regular agenda.
Yes, we had some technical difficulties with the agenda, getting that out on Friday of last week. So we need to add the approval of the November 3rd regular meeting minutes to the agenda, and that would go under council action. Because they weren't on the packet you originally received.
Any items, council, regarding the agenda? If none, we're looking for a motion to approve the agenda with the addition to go under council action.
Motion to approve the agenda and with the addition of minutes from last meeting.
Motion by Councilman Hayter, supported by Councilwoman Stilgrave, to approve the agenda with the addition of the November 3rd regular meeting minutes, and they be added under the council action. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Stringham? Yes. Felder? Yes. Hayter? Stilgrave?
Yes.
Jermaine?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Yes. Next item, please.
The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, and for approval of payments to vendors, the amount should read $2,348,864.83, 2348864.83.
Thank you. Are there any items on the consent agenda that council wishes to have pulled from the consent agenda? Councilwoman Stringham?
Yes, I request to pull the boards and commissions appointments.
Okay. Are any other items that council may wish to pull from the consent agenda be put under council action? Councilman Felder?
5577.
577. Other items on the consent agenda council wish to have pulled? Are there any items on the consent agenda those present here this evening wish to have pulled for further discussion? And what that means on the consent agenda, I see there's new people here I haven't seen for a meeting or two, that these items will be voted on by council collectively, other than the ones that you just heard were pulled off the consent agenda. It doesn't impact the rest of the agenda with the presentations, and I know we have people here for that reason, or communications or public hearing. But if looking at the consent agenda, if there's an item that you want to have conversation about, now is the opportunity to pull it off the agenda, so when it comes up later, there's an opportunity from that attendee to make comments about it or ask questions. Any comments? Any items on the consent agenda those present here this evening wish to have pulled for further discussion? Seeing none, Councilman Felder.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to make a motion that all items on the consent agenda not pulled for further discussion be accepted, placed on file, recommendations carried out, and resolutions adopted.
Support.
Motion by Councilman Felder, supported by Councilwoman Stringham, that all items on the consent agenda not pulled for further discussion be accepted, placed on file, recommendations carried out, and resolutions adopted. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Stringham?
Yes.
Felder? Yes. Hayter? Stilgrave?
Yes.
Jermaine?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Next item, please.
The next item is under presentations, communications, and public hearings, item 5566, Gabby's Grief Center proclamation.
So I have a proclamation. It's not going to be presented here this evening, but the council, in support of the council, in recognition of the Gabby's Grief Center And it's an item that we will be presenting on Thursday because they're having a welcoming and in the community as well as a gathering and the proclamation itself. But just want to, so those here and those watching have an understanding what Gabby's Grief Center is. And the proclamation here has the whereases, but it's Gabby's Grief Center is a community-driven organization extending graceful service to those in grief as they discover hope and gather strength to heal in support of judgment-free space and they've been active for the last 24 years. The Gabby's Grief Center is when there's a loss in a family and there's children or others that need support, need opportunities to meet, opportunities to share their feelings, and it promotes a simple tool to broach the hard topics of grief and show that together we can navigate trauma. So they've been, as I said, for 24 years providing service here, and I know they'll be celebrating next year their 25th, of course, but they're having a gathering, and so the proclamation from the mayor and the city council takes the opportunity to commend and recognize the many contributions that Gabby's Grief Center has made to not only our city but the county, and I know sometimes that even reaches outside our county. So I appreciate the support of the council, and those that may know Gabby's Grief Center, just send them a note and thank them for their service. Next item, clerk.
The next item on the agenda is the results of the I Voted sticker contest, which we recently held. So I'm going to go down to the podium, and I'm going to ask if he will join me.
Very well.
All right. So welcome, everyone. We are here tonight to honor the winners of the I Voted sticker contest, and you have a little sneak preview there on the screen. The I Voted sticker contest is not something that's unique to the city of Monroe. We've had examples of the contest all across the country, and in the state of Michigan had its own I Voted sticker contest in 2024. But we decided to bring it to the city and add our own little twist to it, and I think it really turned out great. I wanted to thank Jody Egan and Amy Moore, who, along with Terry Davis here at City Hall, helped come up with ideas on what we wanted to do. We knew we wanted to focus on youth. We kicked it off on World Youth Day in August, the contest itself, and really gave our young artists in the community a chance to show what voting meant to them, what their art meant to them, and we're really excited with the results. I also want to thank Mayor Clark and the council. You were all amazing in your support, and I know many of you are out there sharing it on Facebook and talking about it, and that really helped gather enthusiasm for it. The Monroe Art League, David Larkin in particular, and David and some members of the league are here tonight. David said, yeah, absolutely, what can we do to help? So we brought the Art League on as our initial screeners, so to speak. We collected applications for our submissions from the young artists for several weeks, and then once the deadline had passed for the submissions, the Art League came in, reviewed all of the art that they had in front of them, and chose 3 finalists for each age group category. I also wanted to thank the adults, the teachers, the parents, the grandparents, the mentors, anyone in our young artists' life who encouraged them to participate. Artists needed to be members of, they needed to live in the city of Monroe or attend school or attend like an after-school program within the city of Monroe. And I know that they couldn't have done it without the help of those adults in their life, and I really appreciate that enthusiasm as well. So basically, I mentioned this, how it worked is the students submitted their artwork, and once the Art League reviewed the submissions and chose the 3 finalists in each age group, then they were put up for an online public vote. And that's where communications and Terry, again, worked really hard. Terry set it up so the votes could be counted and everything could be fair. And Jody and Amy did a great job promoting the event. And then what happened was we had one artist emerge from each category, age category, and they were chosen to be the I voted stickers for here in the city of Monroe. Now, people are very particular about their I voted stickers. My own daughter said the artwork is great, but I still love the traditional sticker. So for those folks, we did have the traditional stickers, but I must say we ordered a small supply. We weren't sure how it was going to go, and they were very popular, and we had people taking 2 or 3 stickers because they couldn't decide. We also, as a surprise, because all of the finalists were so good, we ended up printing each of the finalists who made it to the popular vote. We printed their artwork. But tonight we're here to honor those that won in the categories and a special category that we're going to start with, which is the Clerk's Choice. So that kind of came about because I had a couple that really tugged at my heartstring. And someone said, well, you are the clerk. You could probably do a Clerk's Choice. So we are doing that. I don't know if we'll have that every year. I kind of think we will. But those are the first 2 that we're going to honor tonight. So we have Ivy. Is Ivy here with us? No? Okay. Well, Ivy, as a Clerk's Choice winner, will receive a art kit. And we have a certificate as well for Ivy. So we'll just, yeah, thank you. So congratulations, Ivy. And I don't know what to say about a cool eagle with sunglasses. There's not a whole lot to add to that. Then we have Abigail. Is Abigail here? Oh, Abigail, can you come forward? So I have Abigail's sticker on my my Stanley water bottle, actually. So congratulations. Thank you very much for participating.
Congratulations. You want to read this?
Yes, so this is your art kit. And the certificate is City of Monroe Clerk's I Voted Sticker Contest Award Recognition for Abigail Oberly, is that right? Okay. Presented in honor of remarkable creativity and design. Congratulations on earning the Clerk's Choice Award in the 2025 I Voted Sticker Contest. I Voted stickers are a small but powerful symbol of civic pride and participation. Thank you for contributing your artwork and inspiring our community. And we have that signed by myself and Mayor Clark. There you go.
Congratulations. Got a couple more. Always one more. And one more.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
one more. Very good.
So,
Congratulations.
I love that fox. Okay. So in the first category, oops, I have. All right. For the first category, I voted is Kindle, and that was the age group for 5 to 9-year-olds. Kindle? Yay, come on up. Congratulations. All right, now for you, we have a trophy. So this is for you, and we also have a certificate.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Would you stand here with us for a picture?
This way. Well, look at everybody. Ask the first one. You want to say anything?
Do you want to say anything? No? Okay. Well, I know one of the reasons that you were a finalist is because the Art League was really excited about the colorful, all the colors you used in your stickers. So great job. Congratulations. All right. Oh, Abigail, do you have a few words you might want to say? No? Okay. All right. Our next winner is Lainey, and Lainey was the 10 to 13-year-old group. Is Lainey here this evening? Oh. Congratulations, and thank you for your participation. I really appreciate it. Yours was very popular among the voters. Thank you. Would you like to say anything? No. Okay. All right. All right. And finally, we have Mara. Mara, are you here?
Mara's not here, but Jaslyn's gonna grab it for Mara.
All right. All right. So Mara was in the 5, is that right? That's okay. Mara, yes. Oops, wrong one. 14 to 18-year-old. Yes. And this is Miss Amy, who is the art teacher at the ALCC. So congratulations.
Jaslyn's gonna accept it on
Congratulations.
Mara's behalf.
Here is Mara's trophy, and we have a certificate for her as well.
Thank you.
Please tell her thank you.
Can I get a photograph? Come on.
Yes, you should come up here.
That was, you know where you
Let's
are.
do it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Miss Amy, would you like to say a few words? Do you like to say anything about the program?
I'm Amy Arnold. I'm the art teacher at the ALCC, and it gives me great pleasure to teach these kids every Tuesday after school. They absolutely love art, and they love the community center and all the support that the community gives us for the community center. So it's really my pleasure to have these kids with me every week, and I enjoy it so much. And thank you for including us in this contest.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Could we have the students who have an award come back forward? We want to just do one group shot with all the students. All right. And then after, if the Art League would like to say anything, we'd really appreciate that, if you'd like. Last picture, I promise.
Yeah, last one.
There you go. You have everybody? Would anyone from the Art League like to say anything?
Hi, I'm David Larkins. I'm the professor of art at the community college currently, and also a member of the Monroe Art League. And when Michelle asked me to do this, I thought this was a great idea. So I got the Art League involved, and we came here, and they had. I'm really taken aback how efficient you did all this with all the drawings. You had everything set up for us to judge, and it was great judging all these. And as an artist, to me, this signals like an innocence in today's political climate, and it gives you a little relief, I think, when you go in and vote, and you see that this is what it's really about. And I just really love it, and I hope to see this continue. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So just to wrap up, thank you to everyone who participated and helped us out. And there are plans to repeat it. We were going to do it every odd year, but we do have plans. You know, next year's a big year with 250 America and all of that. So we'll be back. You'll get to see me again up here and all the great artists. So thank you, everyone. And thanks to all the students who were here. Thank you.
Clerk, next item, please.
The next item on the agenda is the public hearing for proposed ordinance 25008 to amend Chapter 580 signage.
This time I'll open the public hearing on proposed ordinance 25-008 to amend Chapter 580 signage. Any comments from those present here this evening? I'll ask managers, was there any additional information that needed to be provided at the public hearing?
No, Your Honor.
So this was discussed at our last meeting. This is the opportunity when it comes back for a public hearing. At that case, I'll close the public hearing. Clerk, next item, please.
We're under council action, item 5597, proposed ordinance 25-008 to amend signage, to amend Chapter 580 signage.
Thank you, Manager Robinson. Any other review, any other presentation or additional information that's needed on this ordinance proposal?
Well, the only thing with this ordinance, as we remember, we've had the discussion, we had the first reading, and now we've had the public hearing, and we're asking council to approve the proposed ordinance. It amends Chapter 580 signage, which essentially changes and allows electric signage in certain locations, and I think you're all familiar with that. That's really all I have to add.
Thank you. Any questions from council for administration regarding this? If not, motion, Councilwoman Stringham?
Your Honor, I'll make a motion. Move to place proposed ordinance 25-008 to amend Chapter 580 signage on the floor for its final reading.
Motion by Councilwoman Stringham, supported by Councilwoman Germania. Item 5597, proposed ordinance 25-008 to amend Chapter 580 signage. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Stringham?
Yes.
Felder? Yes. Hayter? Yes. Steelgrave? Yes. Germaine?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Ordinance 25-008, Chapter 580 signage. An ordinance to amend 5.01 sign maintenance, non-conforming signs and other requirements, Section 8.01 awning, attached canopies and marquee signs, electronic changeable messages, monument signs, projecting signs, and wall signs of Chapter 580 signage of the Code of the City of Monroe. The City of Monroe ordains.
Shall this ordinance pass?
Stringham?
Yes.
Felder?
Yes.
Hayter?
Yes.
Steelgrave?
Yes.
Germaine?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Yes. Next item, please.
The next item is item 5588, proposed lease to sale of 201 West Front Street.
Manager Robinson?
Yes, Your Honor, this is the building is commonly referred to as the Whistle Stop, and we do have an interested party that wishes lease to own this property. And due to the fine work of our Economic Development Office in bringing this to fruition, I'd like to invite Director Cochran to explain kind of the details and the outline of what this lease to sale agreement would be.
An Honorable Mayor, City Council, Clerk Treasurer Lavoy, Mark Cochran, Assistant City Manager and Director of Economic and Community Development. So as the city manager indicated, the city has owned the former Whistle Stop that's located at the southwest corner of Casa Monroe since about 2018. And at the time, the reason we purchased it is because it's a unique historic property in our community, and we saw a lot of potential into its future use in terms of meeting the objectives and goals of downtown development and support with the DDA. And so we purchased it at the time. We've done the environmental due diligence on the property. We even had an interested buyer at one point, and we had contracted for some architectural services, and those renderings are in your packet this evening for a restaurant. Over the years, we've shown it to many different people. There's been varying levels of interest on the property, but recently we were introduced and had some discussion with Mr. Tony Viedma with Royals Mollet, Barcelona Bakery, which has been a well-established business in the city for several years now on North Telegraph Road. They're so popular, he tells us that players on professional Detroit sports teams come down and get his pizza. He's had people drive from Chicago to buy his pizza, and as far away from Hawaii, and he's branded his pizza Monroe style, much as you see Detroit style pizza in other communities. So he's really made a mark. But due to some unfortunate circumstances, he's deciding he needs to relocate from Telegraph Road. And so he approached us and asked us if we had any properties or recommendations for him. We showed him a few properties, including the Whistle Stop, and I will say, if I've ever seen love at first sight, this was it. And so we sat down and began having discussions about how we can help him begin to rebuild at a new location, as well as achieve the objectives of a highest and best use for the city and the downtown. And so what he has put forth is some terms that were included in your packet this evening. First and foremost, this is looking at a lease-to-own agreement or a lease-to-purchase agreement. And these are fairly a creative tool to help small businesses and entrepreneurs who are looking at purchasing their first building, especially buildings like the Whistle Stop that need a significant amount of capital investment to be put into it. And so the arrangement that we're having discussions about, and that's before you for consideration this evening, allows him to put significant capital into the building that's needed for the renovation. I will say the price tag that we had back in 1920 with the original architect was about $1 million for the build-out plan that you see in your packet this evening. If that gives you an idea of the sort of investment that is needed to return it back to productive use. And so the terms in the agreement are for a period where he would rent it for 4 years and then own it, purchase it on the 5th year for a total amount of $210,000. The first year, the proposed amounts for the rent he would pay on a monthly basis to the city is intended to cover the property tax liability. Once it becomes not for a public use, it does go back on the tax roll and the city would be responsible for paying that. So in recognition of that, he's proposing the nominal monthly rent to cover the costs that the city would have for property taxes for the first year. The intent would be that the prospective buyer would be responsible for all construction costs, leasehold improvements, insurance costs, and all utilities. So no additional costs that the city would incur for that first year. At the second year, as he begins to, the renovations begin to wrap up or at least move into the next phase, proposing to include both the original amount to cover the lease, but also additional capital payments toward the city that would be counted toward the purchase price. And same with years 3 and 4, and you can see how those amounts increase from $20,400 in year 2 to $24,000 in year 3, $30,000 in year 4, and then the final balloon payment of $136,000 in year 5. Nothing precludes him from purchasing it from us sooner if he decided to over that period as well. And so with that in mind, there are two lots immediately to the south of the building that would retain under city ownership or the DDA, where we would build out a public parking lot for that. The intent with that is to add more free public parking in the downtown area, in an area where there's not a significant amount of public parking. However, it is a developing area. But also it helps reduce the costs that would need to go into the redevelopment of this building. And so there is a bit of a win-win in terms of the addition of public parking, but also reducing the cost for development for that building. And you'll see the parking lot design plans in your packet this evening as well from the original site plan for a restaurant at that time. And so what we're proposing tonight, this is obviously not a purchase agreement. These are terms of an agreement. So if council is open and welcoming to this idea, what the direction would be is to accept the terms and then authorize the city attorney to work with administration to formulate a final purchase agreement that would be executed by the city, and then also the conveyance agreements in typical form and fashion that are signed by the mayor and clerk treasurer as well. So also the intent, I know it's a restaurant, but they do intend to have outdoor seating, indoor seating, as well as a carryout space. So that area in front of the building would be converted into an outdoor dining patio that is very complementary to both the streetscape goals of the Downtown Development Authority, but also the overall development goals of the city.
Questions for Mark? Any questions on action to be taken this evening? Councilwoman Germain.
I move to accept the proposed lease to own offer terms proposed by Tony Biedma of Royals Millet Barcelona Bakery for 201 West Front Street, parcel 29-00328-000, and authorize the city attorney to work with the city administration to draft the necessary conveyance agreements in a form with terms acceptable to both parties, and authorize the mayor and clerk treasurer to execute the agreements on behalf of the city.
Support.
Motion by Councilwoman Germain, supported by Councilwoman Steelgrave on item 5588, the proposed lease to sale of 201 West Front Street. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Stringham?
Yes.
Felder?
Yes.
Hayter? Stillgrave? Jermaine?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Yes. Next item, please.
The next item is item 5587, consideration of lease request for 1405 East Elm Avenue.
Thank you. Manager Robinson, background information on this or information to be presented?
Yes, Your Honor, the city did receive a request to lease 1405 East Elm Avenue. This has also been in front of our River Raisin Heritage Quarterly Advisory Commission. This has already gone to them previously, and we are just looking at it as a 34-acre parcel with the intent to build an international monument, arboretum, visitor center and museum to honor all the participants of the War of 1812. And that's what they're requesting, to lease that land and eventually own that 34 acres for the purpose of this monument. I'd let look over here. I'll let Director Cochran be able to explain the details and what occurred with the in the River Raisin Heritage Corridor Advisory Commission.
Public Safety Director almost got requested, but Mark, go ahead, please.
Certainly welcome his input on this as well. And so as the city manager indicated, this is property that's at the southeast corner of Detroit Avenue and East Elm Avenue. A map is included in your packet this evening. For some background for you, the city acquired this property in 2018 from the Port of Monroe. We affectionately refer to this property as the donut because we own the property around a donut hole in the middle that remains under the ownership of Homrich. It's a former landfill. And so we acquired the property at the time using from the port to be counted as land match toward our 2014 Natural Resource Trust Fund. So there is a deed restriction on this property that the city is not allowed to use it for anything other than public recreation opportunities in perpetuity. So for background information, at that time we did all of our environmental due diligence in 2018. Being a landfill, there is some significant environmental concerns on the property. And we have a due care plan that the city is obligated to follow with this site. Being a former landfill, right now it's considered capped, where right now we can't disturb anything underneath it. And you notice the vegetation on that site, that is an obligation that we have to maintain that. The vegetative cap on top of it helps prevent the exacerbation of environmental issues on this site. So fast forward to recently, we received a lease request from Mr. Chase Blackwell, who is president of the 1812 International Cenotaph Memorial and Arboretum, with his proposal to build a new museum, visitor center, monument, and arboretum to recognize all those who fought in the entire War of 1812. And so when we do this, the City Council established the Heritage Corridor Advisory Committee or Commission to make a recommendation to the Planning Commission on City Council for items just as this. And so as the city manager indicated in October, the Heritage Corridor Advisory Commission considered this request, heard from the applicant or the requesting party and his representatives, and they've made a recommendation. And so because the commission cannot approve the conveyance of interest in city property, it must come before City Council for your final action. And so for some background, this 34-acre parcel, already talked about the background, but when administration reviewed this, we do find this to be in conflict with several of our master plans. In 2009, when Congress established the River Raisin National Battlefield Park, they did not establish a national park to commemorate the entire War of 1812. They specifically established the River Raisin National Battlefield Park to commemorate and recognize only the battles of the River Raisin. And so the thought of building a new monument that's dedicated to the entire 2-year battle of the War of 1812, we felt would detract from the intent of the story that the National Park Service and we are charged with telling for the battles of the River Raisin on this land. Furthermore, in 2014, the city also received a grant to work with the National Park Service on what's called a cooperative land management plan. So we worked out with the plan, the Park Service and the city both adopted that, and what that does is it provides standards and requirements on how we are going to cooperatively manage the lands that were significant to the battles. And so when we reviewed the cooperative land management plan, the National Park Service does not recommend building new memorials or new monuments on Park Service property for several reasons. The first is that it conflicts with the management practices, and then also there may be future unintended or unacceptable impacts, add long-term operational costs to the park or the property, regardless of how it's funded, and then avoid visual and atmospheric intrusion and maintain focus on existing facilities that are already under development. Of course, the city has put a lot of time, effort, and resources into the development of the Visitor Center for the River Raisin National Battlefield Park and trying to build another education visitor center, memorial, and monument a block away would take away resources and focus from the significant project we already have underway. And so those were the basis for the final recommendation, in addition to the extreme environmental concerns that we do have on this property, and giving somebody interest in that property without dealing with those environmental liabilities would cause us great concern. And so finally, the Heritage Corridor Advisory Commission did recommend denying the lease request, and that is what has been recommended to you. But we wanted to note too that this does not intend to take away from the young man's effort to build a War of 1812 memorial. There is no National War of 1812 memorial in the United States anywhere. And so we do recognize if he would like to encourage and possibly find another site, we welcome him to do so, whether that's in Monroe or elsewhere. But we just didn't feel that this was the appropriate location to do it at this time. Certainly, we do have other war memorials in our parks, such as Veterans Park, Soldiers and Sailors, that commemorate entire wars. So where appropriate, it may be a better alternative. So,
Thank you, Mark. Any questions for Mr. Cochran from council? Any comments? Andrew, I'm sorry, Councilman Felder.
When the applicant made the request, it was to lease the entire 34 acres?
mhm.
Okay, with these future plans in place?
Yes.
Not just the, there was a discussion at one point of an individual monument. It sounds like this is a much longer term.
Yes, sir. The
project.
full proposal in your packet tonight talks about a new museum, visitor center, education center to go along with the proposed memorial. Yeah.
Okay. Was there a follow-up request from the applicant about a different parcel that they might be interested in? Have we had communication with them?
Thank you for that question. So originally, when they first approached us, we said, where would you like to build it? And they said, well, where should we build it? And we went back to them and said, you know, it's your project, it's your effort. Please identify the location where you would desire and bring it back to us. So we did work with them on a couple different sites that they were looking at, whether they were private property or public property. And so with this discussion, this was the final proposal that they submitted and brought it forward. But in follow-up, at the Heritage Corridor Advisory Commission, they did mention that they would like to continue to find another suitable site in the future. And, you know, I will say the Heritage Corridor Advisory Commission, I have to give them a lot of credit because there was a lot of discussion. Mayor, you were there, Councilwoman Vining was there. A lot of discussion and deliberation about this item. But also Mr. Blackwell and those who he was with also recognized and appreciated the thorough deliberation that went into this item as well.
Councilman?
It is my hope and expectation that the department is going to continue. I would anticipate that we continue communicating with the applicant, as they seem to have an interest in this particular topic and in this particular area. The plans that were proposed in the packet seem to be more robust, perhaps, than I had anticipated seeing, and I think that those of us who are familiar with this project anticipated seeing something. But biting off the whole 34-acre parcel all at once, rather than finding a parcel that may be smaller to accommodate an initial project, and then progressing along and perhaps acquiring or leasing additional parcels as we go to allow for the expansion to occur naturally, might be more feasible. But where we would have space to expand in adjacent parcels, I imagine those spots, as you just illustrated, are limited throughout the city, where this would both be, have space to allow for that expansion and where that expansion would be appropriate.
And Mr. Mayor, if I may, part of the discussion included too, is Monroe the best location for this? Recognizing that there is no National War of 1812 memorial, and certainly the War of 1812 was fought across battlefields across what then was the United States, and so certainly encouraging to look here and beyond. I know part of the early discussion with him too included having a new national park established as part of this effort, and certainly, I mean, this community well knows how much of a challenge it is to go through that. And so I do appreciate the due diligence and discussion that we've been able to have with him to help guide and direct on his vision.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mark. So we have this item before us for consideration of the lease for the property stated, for the purpose stated. The recommendation is to deny the request, and obviously when you get in, whether you're supporting or denying, it's a yes vote to deny, or you say no, and we'd see where that goes as well. So there's not confusion of what we're voting and how we vote on those. It's always a good way to do it. Councilwoman Steelgrave.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move that the City Council deny the requested lease of 1405 East Elm Avenue by Mr. Chase Blackwell for the purposes of constructing the 1812 International Memorial and Arboretum. Support.
Motion by Councilwoman Steelgrave, supported by Councilwoman Stringham on item 5587. Consideration of a lease request for 1405 East Elm Avenue. And the motion is to deny. Clerk, please call the roll.
Stringham? Yes. Felder?
Yes.
Hayter? Stillgrave?
Yes.
Germaine?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Next item, please.
Next item is item 5586, proposed ordinance 25-009, 114 Cass Street zoning map amendment.
Manager Robinson, information regarding this item?
Yes, Your Honor, this is a proposed ordinance to amend the zoning map for the address at 114 Cass Street. We've had a request from John Castiglione to rezone this property from the Central Business District to an R3 residential, low-density residential district, small lot. He's doing this and trying to develop a quadplex in this building that he is intending on procuring from the RRCA, from the River Raisin Center for the Arts. And if there's any more questions, Director Cochran is the one who worked on this deal with Mr. Castiglione.
So this is, I'll say, the first step of what he needs to take to move
Right,
forward.
this, what we're asking here is just for this to be the first reading of the ordinance in order for us to amend that to, and the amendment would ideally allow that to transfer from being the Central Business District to an R3, because we would like it to be a complete a residential unit, where if it stayed in the Central Business District, you would not be able to have residential on the lower level.
And there's information in the packet of location, what's being asked, but tonight we're asking to place it on the floor for its first reading and have a public hearing, second reading on December 15th, council meeting. But I'll still ask if there's any questions from council this evening about moving this forward for that purpose. Councilman Felder.
Is there R3 in an adjacent zoning district? Is it adjacent to other R3?
Ms. Cochran.
The answer to that is yes. So one of the things when we have rezoning requests we have to be careful about is individually rezoning properties to make sure we're not practicing what's called spot zoning, which you would have one parcel zoned a certain way surrounded by another zoning district. So all the properties to the south are zoned R3, and that's why we're comfortable moving forward with the recommendation to move it from the central business district. The building, the challenge with it is it's got an upper level and a lower level. In the central business district, you're not allowed to have residential on the first floor. So determining which of those is the first floor presents a challenge, but also the unique characteristics of the building and the property overall. We feel it's not going to be detrimental to the central business district, and it achieves the goals of adding new residential units within the periphery of downtown as well, because it is the last parcel that's zoned central business district on that block.
Councilwoman Stilgrave.
I move that proposed ordinance 25-009 be placed on the floor for its first reading, and that the public hearing and second reading be set for December 15th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m.
Support. There's a motion by Councilwoman Stilgrave, supported by Councilman Hayter on item 5586, proposed ordinance 25-009, 114 Cass Street zoning map amendment. Any further questions from council? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Stringham? Felder? Hayter? Stilgrave?
Yes.
Jermaine? Mayor Clark?
Yes.
Ordinance 25-009, Chapter 720 zoning, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of Chapter 720 zoning of the Code of the City of Monroe.
Next item, please.
So the next item is approval of the regular meeting minutes from the Monday, November 3rd, 2025 council meeting. And we don't have to assign a number. Well, we do have to assign a number. It's usually under consent agenda, so we'll figure it out.
Number assigned later, but it's the minutes that, through some technical difficulties, weren't able to get into the packet. Is there any questions regarding those minutes? If you recall, that was the minutes from November 3rd.
Which was the evening before the election, and it began at 6 p.m. and was a rather abbreviated meeting.
If there's any questions or comments, not, we need a motion. Councilwoman Stringham.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the November 3rd meeting.
Councilwoman Stringham, supported Councilwoman Germaine to approve the minutes or accept the minutes from the November 3rd, 2025 meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Stringham? Felder? Hayter? Stilgrave? Jermaine? Mayor Clark?
Allowing that to be added, moves along the information for the clerk to get everything filed. Next item, please.
We have the item 5567, boards and commission appointments, which was from the consent agenda.
Councilwoman Stringham.
Yes, I asked for that to be pulled. This is actually replacing a position that I held before council. And I'm going to abstain from the vote because the person being appointed is a relative of mine.
Any objections from council for that? I think it's appropriate. Okay. So the item still is up for a motion to either approve or not approve. Oh, Councilwoman Stilgrave.
I'll move to approve the resolution making appointments to the city boards and commissions.
Second.
There's a motion by Councilwoman Stilgrave, supported by Councilwoman Germaine on item 5567, the appointments, and this was to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Trail Advisory Committee. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Felder? Well,
Yes.
I should say
Yeah.
Stringham, so you can. Okay. Felder?
Yes.
Hayter? Stilgrave?
Yes.
Jermaine?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Yes.
And the next item is item 5577, repayment of taxiway design grant, and that was also from the consent agenda.
Thank you. Councilman Felder.
I pulled this item. I don't have any particular contention with it, but I do think it's important to discuss and have a meaningful conversation about, because I think that it, as we all know, the discussion surrounding the airport property in the future, that it may or may not have, there is a path for it, and whatever we decide for that path to be, I think that we need to do so with intention. I would wonder if the city administration would have any updated metrics on its utilization or sustainability.
Manager Robinson.
In fact, have the 2019 through 2025, the number of operations per year, that if you'd like, I'd be happy to pass out to you for you to review.
That'd be, sure, that'd be great. I'll make sure the clerk receives a copy, of that as well.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a moment here as council reviews that, and then Councilman Felder, when if there's a question or further, we'll move forward.
Mhm. So in reviewing the presented data, there does seem to be marginal increases in the utilization. Is the airport currently maintaining itself at a sustainable level without, independently, without additional funds from the city?
Manager Robinson?
Well, we have a airport fund, and ever since that we stopped and we removed the jet fuel tank because it no longer refuels jets, we are kind of breaking even. I don't think I can't say we're operating in the red, but we're breaking even with the rents from the tenants that we have there now. But as of a couple of years ago, if you remember, we used to fully staff that airport 24 hours or during the daylight periods, and we no longer staff the airport full time.
And I know that there's been adjustments, as with some of the corporate customers and some of the jet fuel sales, which have not been removed. That tank is that tank still in the ground, or did we pull that?
We did
tank out?
remove that tank, yes.
I know we emptied it. I wasn't sure if it actually came
No,
out.
it was actually removed because there was fear that we wanted to remove it since no one was using it before it becomes an environmental issue.
Yep, because we deal with those too on other sites in the city.
Yes.
I know that, breaking even is nice, but there's also an opportunity cost for any project like this to be considered, and other use cases that could be made for the future utilization of the site. And I think that we always need to weigh the land that we have available in the city and determine what its highest and best use practically is, and how realistic we are in achieving that use. It does look like there has been an increase in recent years. I'm certainly happy to see that it is being more utilized than it has been in the past. Though as we proceed down this path, we just need to make sure that we keep in mind what we're moving towards, and the potential projects that are to come on the site and what this would allow for into the future.
Well, and essentially, I think to sum up what this item is about, is there is ongoing research in looking at what are our options with the airport, with the deed restrictions from the Department of War from 1949, et cetera. And as we investigate this, it's still in the research process. However, each year we were given money from the federal government in order to do this. And what was happening is the money we're looking to repay back to the state was money that was given to us for basically construction and design of an expansion, a $2 million expansion of our taxiway. And there was a timeline on it, and we were starting to get pressure from MDOT Aeronautics in order to to go ahead and start spending this money. Well, the thing is, if you spend this money that is ultimately federal money, we end up being on the hook for that for another 20 years. So we have elected, because the taxiway is in good shape, and if there was studies, the chances are there would be a reduction in size of the runway, reduction in size of the taxiway, based on the usage and what kind of planes are there. We thought it was best not to spend, just because they wanted us to spend money doesn't mean we should. And being good stewards of not only the money here in the city, but also the money of the federal government that's given this money, we're not going to spend something until we do further research on what truly is the direction of the airport. So it was, because there was a time limitation, this is why we're bringing back to pay back the $117,000 that they were expecting us to spend on the design portion of the taxiway.
Okay. All right. No other,
Yeah, I don't think there's any other, I think the review is really what the conversation comes to be, is what was the past use, what's the current use? And if we continue to accept some funds, then we're, as Manager Robbins said, it's our obligation to continue moving forward in something that may not meet today's uses. And the long term, as Councilman Felder said, is still being determined of how we best utilize property that's within the city for the needs that we have. And I think this is, for me, it's a good option of where we stand on making the decision. So, Councilman Felder?
yeah, as we proceed down this path, I just want to make sure that we do it with our eyes wide open and understand the future that is to come and the projects that it's going to allow for.
Absolutely, thank you.
With that, I will move that the repayment of the grant funds for the taxiway rehabilitation project in the amount of $112,700 be approved, that a check be authorized for immediate payment to the state of Michigan, and that the Director of Finance, Assistant City Manager be authorized to make any necessary transfers, including from the airport fund balance.
There's a motion by Councilman Felder, supported by Councilwoman Germaine, on item 5577, repayment of the taxiway design grant. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Stringham? Yes. Felder? Yes. Hayter? Yes. Stilgrave? Yes. Jermaine?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Yes. Next item, please.
I have no further items this evening, Your Honor.
We'll start with council comments. Councilwoman Stringham, comments this evening?
I am looking forward to the tree lighting on Friday. And so this weekend's actually going to be a lot going on. Hopefully the weather holds out. I see there could be some rain. We got the hometown holiday lights on Friday. Saturday, at Deb's Floral, there's going to be collecting some goods. I'm sure she'll talk about it. And then we've got the Veterans Park, the holiday tree walk. That's going to be lit on Saturday. So a lot of stuff to do this weekend. So hopefully you're able to participate in some of it.
Thank you. Councilman Felder?
Nearing the holidays always gets busy, doesn't it? I want to thank the city administration for preparing documentation that we've reviewed this evening. It'll be nice when Minitrack is back up and working, but of course that's an outside entity. We're trying to make it through as we can. So looking forward to the events to come in the holiday season. So thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
Hader?
Yep, thank you, Your Honor. Look forward to seeing everybody this Friday for the tree lighting, and wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving coming up.
Councilwoman Stilgrave?
Thank you, Your Honor. I have several events. First of all, see all the tree lighting. There's a new addition this year at the tree lighting, and that will be the new addition of Santa's house. Years ago, we used to have a Santa house here in Monroe, sat in the exact same location, and we're putting it back there. On Saturday, we'll be filling 3 trucks at Deb's Floral for toys, toiletries, and non-perishable food items for the pantries and local shelters. Next Wednesday, the fire department is feeding dinner for whoever wants to join us at the Opportunity Center, and they're served from 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 o'clock is the times for that. And happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you. Councilwoman Germaine?
Thank you. I want to congratulate again all of our young art winners for the sticker contest. Please enjoy your Thanksgiving and the tree lightings this weekend. I think they're both going to be really beautiful. And ours is always a special occasion with lots of love and feeling. And I'm sure Saturdays will be as well. So enjoy your families on Thanksgiving, and I cannot believe it's next week. It's crazy. That's all. Thank you.
So I have a few comments that are similar to what we've heard, but I'll give some specifics on dates, times, and locations. First, I want to, as we had the proclamation this evening for Gabby's Grief Center, I just want to congratulate them on 24 years of service and as they move into next year in their 25th. Hometown Holiday Lights tree lighting is Friday, November 21st. That's this Friday. The event's from 5:30 to 8:30, but the tree will be lit sharply at 7 p.m. So you want to be here ahead of time. I will say last year we had, as we estimated, 6,000 people in Loringer Square. And so it's a great event to come down. And we have many partners there, the River Raisin Center for the Arts, the Monroe County Museum, and other businesses. The library is open as well. And there's many activities, food trucks. There'll be a band, the school from and of course the DJ, and a lot of people come. So come early, enjoy the time ahead of time, because if you get here at 10 minutes, you're going to be outside the square and you'll have to look from a distance. So, because it is a very great event for our community, and appreciate all that do attend. At the same time, the Sawyer Homestead, and it has a wreath workshop. So they do a workshop, and people go in there, have an opportunity to do a craft and do some visit our historic Sawyer Homestead, and then still have time to come down and see the tree lighting, which is only about a block and a half away. It was mentioned about the Holiday Tree Walk, which is at Veterans Park on Saturday, November 22nd at 6 p.m. And the Rotary managed that. If you've been by Veterans Park on North Custer recently, you'll see, I can't remember the number, but I know it's over 100 trees, if not double that, 200, right? So many people have sponsored it and put those trees up. And so those that have been asking, no, they were not planted. They will not be permanent. And those that want to know why it's not permanent, if you did, you probably wouldn't be able to see the river here at now or in the future as we visit veteran parks. And many people do visit that park, and the opportunity for purposes of what the park is. The Fill the Truck, which was mentioned, is at Deb's Floral Design on Saturday, the 22nd, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I think you always need to have an address. I can't believe anybody doesn't know where Deb's Floral Design is, but it's 1379 North Monroe Street.
It's from 10 to 5.
See, it's already changed from what I had. 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thanks for the correction. So, and that's on Saturday, as is the holiday trees that, go down and drop food off and other items to help those in need. And when you're done later at 6 o'clock on Saturday, go down to Veterans Park. Last comment I have is more about internal for boards and commission. As the council knows, they all have obligations. The mayor and the council either serve on a board that we vote on, or we serve on a board that we're a liaison to. And it could be anything from a liaison to the planning commission to serving on the pension board, where you're a voting member. So I'm letting the council know that maybe starting a little bit earlier this year, but for council members, I will send a list of all of our boards and commissions that we serve on. Please take a review, and because everybody's sometimes calendars change. You maybe have served on an afternoon board, but work or other items you find, or just the desire to want to try one of the new boards that may have served on before. And so I will send it out and just send back individually. Don't reply all, right? We don't do that. But just your thoughts, if there's interest in, say I have an interest in this, or I'm looking for a board commission that might be at this time of the day that might fit my schedule better. And it gives me then the task to move forward, and I'll bring that back. Always can give me a call. We can talk about if you have some other thoughts on boards and commissions. So everybody is active and has a role, and that's well council. It's additional roles that council does other than our meetings here in the council chambers on the first and third Mondays, but also the other meetings. I'm going to follow that up next month with a communications department of sending out boards and commission regarding our residents and where some of the vacancies currently are as well. But I want to first have a conversation with the council, and that's my comments for this evening. Clerk Treasurer Lavoy.
I have no comments.
Okay, thank you for managing the art and the I Voted Sticker contest. I look forward to that in the years to come as well.
It was really great.
It was great.
It was great.
Manager Robinson, comments this evening.
I don't have any comments this evening.
Now we have opportunities for comments from those present here this evening, citizens' comments. If you wish to make a comment or come to the podium, just state your name, your jurisdiction or residence, and you have 3 minutes to say what it is you may wish to say. I see some people that are here this evening. I've been waiting all evening. I was going to have you introduce at the beginning, but we're going to do it now because this looks very interesting.
Good evening. Name, address, and
Just your name, jurisdiction of residence, and what you wish to say.
awesome. Well, I am Luke Bungie from Monroe County, and I am Monroe High School class of 2013. And I'm here on behalf of the Monroe Composite Squadron Civil Air Patrol. With me tonight are several of our cadet leaders who are current Monroe students and active members of our youth program. We are here to invite the council and the community to Wreaths Across Monroe, which will take place on Friday, December 13th at 1 p.m. at Veterans Park. During this ceremony, wreaths will be placed at the Veterans Memorials throughout the park as a tribute to those who have served and sacrificed. The purpose is to remember, honor, and teach. Before COVID, our squadron held this wreath laying each year in Monroe. It was a valued moment for families, veterans, and community members, and we are proud to bring it back this year. Similar ceremonies take place across the nation, and we believe Monroe should continue to be a part of that tradition. For anyone unfamiliar with us, Civil Air Patrol is the official auxiliary of the United States Air Force and a nonprofit organization focused on community service, aerospace education, and youth development. The Monroe Composite Squadron has served this community for 75 years, and this ceremony marks the start of our 75th anniversary year. We have invited youth and service organizations from across the county, along with several state senators and representatives who have expressed interest in attending. We would be honored to have our local elected officials join us as well, as your presence would help highlight the importance of honoring our veterans and supporting programs that guide young people towards service and leadership. This evening, our cadets will hand out event flyers along with a letter from our squadron commander that provides additional details and a formal invitation. We hope you'll take a moment to review them and consider joining us on December 13th. Thank you for your time and everything you do for the Monroe community. We look forward to seeing you at Veterans Park, and pending any questions, that concludes my comment.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you, and I'm going to give the opportunity to introduce the gentlemen that are with you, please.
Awesome.
They can introduce themselves.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cadet Major Tyler Bielek. I'm the Cadet Commander of Monroe Composite Squadron, and I have been in the program for about 5 years, and this program has done a lot for me, and I do invite you all to attend the ceremony. For not only is it a great community event, it also shows the dedication that we give to the program and what we're willing to give back to the community.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I am First Lieutenant Ro Garcia. I have been in the program for 3 years. I am the Deputy Commander of Support, and I also invite you guys to attend.
Thank you so much. I know that the call came to the into the city, and it is on my calendar. And I recall the years past before pre-COVID that we would meet, and and I really encourage council, if you have that day available on the December 13th on Saturday, please come. It's a very good moving ceremony, and also to see those that come and participate from our community. So I thank you for being here. I'll ask if there's any questions or comments from council. I look forward to seeing you all, if not before. Councilwoman Germaini.
I'm glad you're back. I work at Lake Erie Transit, and we used to transport all the guys and all the wreaths
Thank you.
before COVID, but I miss it, so I'm glad you're back, and I will be at the ceremony.
Thank you.
And thank you for the information. I'm sure we'll get this to our communications director as well. I know the clerk will have it in the minutes of the people that look there, but give it to the city manager, ask our communications director, put out the information. So those that go through our website or social media will also see the opportunity to attend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Other comments from those present here this evening? Any additional comments? Yes, sir.
Elliot James, 633 Stone Street, Monroe, Michigan. My comment is, I know where you could find some land to make that, to build that at. and I get with you. And showing my dedication of being here, today is being the wife's 35th anniversary. So I even dragged her down here on our anniversary day.
Thank you, Mr. James. You sure you weren't dragged here? I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Well, congratulations to both of you. I want to say congratulations. It's wonderful. Mr. James and Catherine come to our meetings frequently, and they provide input and conversation from our community, and not just the where you live, but our entire community. So I really appreciate that, and I think it's an opportunity for others to see and watch and become engaged in the process, and as whether they're sitting at home watching, and the opportunity to come in and speak about things they'd like to see in the community is always welcome. Thank you so much. Other comments from those present here this evening? Seeing no further comments, I know we have yet more to do this evening. Councilman Hayter?
Your Honor, I'd like to move that we enter into closed session for the purposes of discussion of pending litigation involving FLP Properties, Jim's Towing, and for the purpose of attorney-client privilege communication.
It's motion by Councilman Hayter, supported by Councilwoman Steelgrave to go into closed executive session for the purposes stated. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Stringham?
Yes.
Felder?
Yes.
Hayter?
Yes.
Stillgrave? Jermaine? Mayor Clark?
Yes. I thank you all for being here this evening. We started our